Boy, has it been a while. That's because we're making every sacrifice needed to make the expansion happen. It has been very difficult, but that's a video for another time. I want to talk about a workaround, a substrate workaround that I came across. Whenever you hear people saying you need to grow on hardwood, master's mix, right? You hear it all the time, hardwood pellets 50-50 with soy hull pellets. You feel you need to adhere to that strictly, and there's no other way. Of course, there's wheat bran, and that works, but not as well as master's mix. So traditionally, we all go out and we look for hardwood pellets and usually have no issue getting them. Anyone who grows a significant amount of blocks and does it all themselves knows, especially around certain regions of the country like where I'm at in Tampa, knows that at a certain point all the big suppliers will stop sending wood pellets out because nobody's heating their homes with them in Florida and the rest of the country at that point. So hardwood pellets at places say like Tractor Supply can't get them. So that forces the grower to have to go to alternate sources online to get their combo pellets, their soy hull pellets, or their hardwood pellets. And that can be very costly. The pellets themselves aren't that expensive, maybe $3.50 a pallet from these suppliers, but what gets you is the shipping. You're basically paying for those pellets twice just to get them to your door, or even worse, do what I have to do and go to the shipping station and actually collect them and tow them in my trailer, which is a whole other beast. So I was asking around, and a good friend of mine, Jonathan Cox, Low Country Fungi, I discovered that he was running trials on pine. Now, growing on pine is not a new idea. Plenty of people have done it and have proven that it works. But inevitably, you don't see them continuing to grow on pine. And that's what I couldn't figure out, because it has been working so well. It almost makes me wonder why even bother with sourcing hardwood pellets at all if I could get pine pellets year round. So around March or April is when Tractor Supply and all these places typically stop carrying them. Around then, I talked to Jonathan, and he's been using pine pellets as horse bedding from Tractor Supply and getting great results. So I tried it. I have saved so much money over the summer using pine instead of having hardwood pellets shipped in. All of that money ended up being profit. And boy, that felt good to not have to drop $700 or $800 every time I needed wood pellets, once per month. And now instead it's like $340, $350 for a pallet of pine. That's the way to go. So I'm going to show you some mushrooms, what I've noticed, how they grow on pine, and show that at this time of the year, if you can't get hardwood pellets in the summer, then don't. Switch to pine for that time, unless of course you could store a year's supply or whatever, or 6 months supply of hardwood. The oysters. See if I can get an angle here. Not too bad. What you will find is they grow and they look a little funky, almost like they have blotch. And this is King Blue from Mossy Creek. The yield is less. They start out ugly. Sometimes I find they don't grow at all. You'll have entire blocks that don't grow. So out of say 100 blocks, maybe 5 of them, no activity. Failure to launch. But here's some lion's mane, the baby stage, and I got some in the tent I could show you. All right. Here's some more. They look ugly, but if you hang in there, they end up blossoming. And I don't know if it's the pine or what, but man, these caps get huge. I'm talking dinner plates. That didn't really happen in hardwood. They were more uniform, more predictable. Pine's a little all over the place. But I'm here to tell you that this works. And if you're in a pinch, just use pine pellets. You don't have to strictly adhere to hardwood pellets and all this nonsense that doesn't work. It works. It works so well, it's kept my business afloat during the summer when I didn't want to buy hardwood pellets and I'm building out an expansion. You can definitely grow on pine. I got more oysters there, but you get the gist. The yields are less, so instead of like a 3-pound cluster, I'm getting something like a 2-pound cluster. Same for lion's mane. So I'm getting less yield, definitely. But I'm still getting a good yield for over half the price on a pallet. And that's important if you're a small farm like myself. All these blocks incubating. About 200 blocks there. So deep I can't even get it on camera. Let's see if I can unlock this. Alright, here's my tent. I'm going to release a short video on the tent too because I see a lot of people getting that wrong. But here's some lion's mane. Alright. Now what you're seeing are about 2-pound, sometimes 2.5-pound lion's manes. Right? We harvested some of the ones that were ready. That is about the size you could expect from pine. About 2 pounds. Alright. And there's more over here. Hopefully I'm getting all this good. Now listen, I'm the Lion King, alright? I probably grow more lion's mane than anyone in Central Florida. I'm used to having 3-pound fruit bodies because that's kind of what I've become known for. But when it comes down to sourcing pallets of substrate materials, I simply can't afford to pay $800, $700 for a pallet that is going to be gone in a couple weeks. Pine has saved me so much money, and if you are in a pickle, do not be afraid to grow on pine pellets. It works. You will get a decreased yield. This is for lion's mane and oyster. I've also grown white oyster, the Pohu strain. Fantastic. Even better than the blues. No change there. This works for oysters and lion's mane. I cannot speak for chestnuts, Piapino, Enoki, Black Pearl Kings, all that stuff. I don't grow those. But it works for lion's mane and oyster. So if you're in a pinch, definitely use pine pellets. That's all I got for this video. I'm about to make another video on tents. Take care, y'all.